Witam serdecznie na streamie. Oj, dawno nie było kraśków. Dawno, dawno. Serdecznie przepraszam, że miałem taką przerwę od niskich ludzi. Lecz rzeczywiście... Czemu ja się nie mogę nauczyć, że odpala się gry przez load game? Udajmy, że tego nie było. I jeszcze jeden, i jeszcze raz. Escape load i autosave? Nie. Tu. Heroes can be injured for each day of travel on the world. Something, something. Za szybko. Mam za szybki komputer, nie mogę hintów czytać. Dobrze. Co myśmy robili? Lotion Undead. A może. Przyznam się szczerze, że wybór odzienia na spacer z psami nie należy do moich najlepszych wyborów. Aha, czyli teraz ten robimy. Not beyond fear. Lotion Undead, the barrier to the perished land destroyed and seemingly immortal enemy. You would probably despair if Nudon wasn't so keen on the things that you are supposed to bring to Goren. He fears them. Could they be the key to destruction? Okej. Wow, to aż tu mamy dotrzeć? Czyli będzie... Idą dwie dynie przez pustynię.
What's next?
Boindil looks at you, and the sparkle in his eyes goes out.
We are both very sorry about what happened here, Tungdil.
You told me, Cinthra said. I convinced myself that...
You gulp and turn away from your friends.
Co? Tak na dzień dobry? Nie jestem na to mentalnie gotowy. A, to proszę cutscena.
what I call a goodly challenge. Cover me.
Not a good idea if you want to go on living, dwarf.
You've got quite a big mouth for someone who sounds like a girl.
What?
You are Andikai, the Tempestuous, right?
Correct. And you are Tungdil, Lot Yonan's charge.
Nie wiem, mogę nadal się bić z tym pancerzem?
Honorable Mager, what news of Lot Yonan? Does he live?
Andikai looks at you in silence, pain and rage slowly spreading across her face. He is dead, Tungdil, along with Myra, Turga, and Sabora. Nod-On killed them all and destroyed the Council of Magi. The certainty of their death is painful. It feels as though someone has just torn your insides out. He killed their best pupils too. And now he's the unchallenged Magus in Girdlegard.
Czy ona przypadkiem nie brzmi jak ta narratorka? Troszeczkę tak mi się zlały te ich głosy w jedno.
It was you, wasn't it, that attacked them with the lightning? Were you any more successful than we were?
Andikai shakes her head. He defied everything I threw at him. All
Staram się
my
to usłyszeć.
skills, in vain. I soon realized he was superior to me, but I wanted to buy you some time.
Nodon's famula said that he had changed the magical fields, but you still seem to be able to use them.
Andikai smiles. I'm not quite as
Bardzo
benevolent as
podobne,
the other
ale to
Nodon.
chyba jednak nie te.
My god Samusin is the god of balance. He loves the darkness as much as the light, which means I can use both. But my powers aren't unlimited. It is difficult for me to store and use this altered magic. We should avoid confrontation as much
Co?
as possible.
Chyba żartujesz. Chcesz, to się kryj w krzakach, ja tam idę na pierwszy front.
Your companion, won't he sit with us and introduce himself?
Yes! Hey, you up there! Can you even hear us with that bucket on your head?
Jerun is mute, and he won't do you any harm unless I command him to. And as long as you treat him with courtesy, dwarf. Boindil seems to briefly weigh up his chances against the two of them.
I decide when I'm courteous. Just don't get in my way. And the orcs are mine!
What happened? How could he defeat the Council of Magi?
Nudin called us to Parista, under the guise of reinforcing the barrier against the perished land. Instead, he tricked us, took control of most of our powers and attacked us. I cut him down with my sword, but he rose again and impaled me with his staff. All I can remember after that is the sound of fighting, destruction, and cries of death.
How did you survive?
Jerun. Nudin had forgotten he was with me in Parista.
Czasami brzmią bardzo podobnie, czasami brzmią
My wounds and brought me
różnie.
out of the city to safety until I could summon up enough power to heal myself.
And Lot Yonan?
When Jerun carried me away, he was frozen in stone, like a statue. To my knowledge, the spell cannot be reversed. You nod slowly. You don't have the strength to say anything else right now.
No dobrze.
What will you do now?
Leave this place. I'm not so foolish as to believe that I could restrain the perished land or nod on. Why should I
Ponieważ
stay
potrzebujemy
here?
maga w drużynie.
Foolish? No! Huh. But cowardly?
You're on your way to the kingdom of the Secondlings, right? Then I will accompany you and leave Girdlegard by the High Pass.
We'll need all the help we can get. Nodon will have a lot worse in store for us than just orcs.
The Mager nods in agreement. Then she looks pensively at your rucksack. Your rucksack? Why did Nod-On want it?
Ach, ewidentnie dawno w to nie grałem. Technicznie możemy wybrać jedynkę, ponieważ nie wiemy co mamy w plecaku, więc nie wiemy czego on chciał, więc technicznie to nie będzie kłamstwo. Lecz z drugiej strony ona się wydaje być na tyle silna i potężna, że może nam pomóc. Polećmy z szczerością.
I was taking some objects to Goren, one of Lot Yonan's family. He was murdered at Greenglade by an elf. There were books lying next to his body which he was planning to send to Turga the Fairfaced.
May I see them? You nod. Take the books out of your rucksack and hand them to her. She goes through the letter and the books, one after another, without showing any sign of emotion. Finally, she closes the
Powiedz nam
last.
coś ciekawego.
Is that all? They are only sagas and travelogues from the Outer Lands, which tell of legendary creatures and myths. I don't know why they should be of interest to nod on.
There must be something in them that's important to him. He destroyed a whole village for them, and the vaults.
Possibly. I'll study the books. But let's sleep now. Jarun can keep watch. We are still being followed.
Myślałem, że czegoś się dowiemy konkretnego, a nie, że... w zasadzie to bez sensu to wszystko wzięliście. Added to the party. Fajnie, fajnie. Właśnie się zastanawiałem, czy będą jacyś magowie. Magical blast that pulls creatures toward and then explodes. Nie mogę się doczekać. Dobrze, to idziemy dalej. O, ścigają nas. Zaraz będziemy w kleszczach.
The path leads you through a ravine, whose steep walls are mainly made up of loose boulders and scree. You could probably cause a rockfall that would block your pursuer's path and obstruct your way back.
Oczywiście.
It takes longer than you would have liked to trigger a rockfall that is big enough. But when the dust settles, you realize that you have been rewarded for your troubles. The path is blocked.
Lub. Co to się stało? Czyli ci nas już nie dogonią. Więc zostaje nam jedna horda, która nas
In
goni.
the afternoon, with the sun low in the sky, the path leads you through a ravine. A glance at your map suggests that you're near to Boribor, the Orc realm.
Fracas, may we remain unscathed.
About a mile further on, Boindil suddenly stops in his tracks and sniffs.
Can you smell that? Piggy snouts! And lots of them too!
Let's proceed with caution. Perhaps we can take a few of them out before they raise the alarm.
Czyli orcze krainy. Quite nice. Ja się zastanawiałem, co tam na południu będzie mieszkać. Co to znaczy to? Może ja go nie mogę kontrolować. Zobaczymy. Nie, nie mam go. Czyli mogę brać tylko 4 na raz? No dobra. Już tutaj idą ci... Dobra, wejdźmy im na spotkanie.
There! We have to stop them before they can warn anyone.
Był, ale nie mogłem go wybrać.
What is it? Yes, yes.
Uh-huh. On my way. Huh?
And what now? Huh?
Dobra, zobaczmy co mamy magusiem. Tutaj mamy Scorch, Energy Beam that deals damage. Króciutkie strasznie. Chain Lightning. Też króciutkie.
And what now? Huh?
A! Ten jak przebiegł, kurde nie trafił w żadnego.
No chance.
Huh? Too easy.
What a waste of time.
What is it?
Now
Taktyka, nie? Dobra, ona jest troszeczkę OP.
this is going to hurt.
Pow!
Yes.
Another one bites the
Understood.
dust.
On my way.
What is it?
Who's next? What is it? Come here, you.
What a waste of time.
Oink, oink, little babies.
Uh-huh. Understood.
No biegnij. O, zrzuciłem kogoś. Przypadkiem. Znaczy zaplanowane.
What is it?
Siema Banson. No troszeczkę cię ominęło. Zdobyliśmy
And what now?
Now you've got me interested.
maga. Czułem Eszkel.
Fight. Oh, he didn't hit you very hard.
Czemu O Jezus Maria, musimy uważać.
Easy.
Ta buba zrzuca wszystkich.
If I have to.
Yes. On my way.
End it. What is it? Ha ha. Yes. As good as done.
What a waste of time.
Oh, he didn't hit you very hard. Too easy.
Kurde, się...
What now?
Nie podoba mi się to, że walczymy... O Jezu, jeszcze druga buba idzie.
What is it?
Niedobrze.
As good as done.
To jest tak zwana zła pozycja. Tak, dokładnie to chciałem powiedzieć.
Now you've got me interested. With pleasure.
Creature.
If I have to. This is going to hurt. And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Yes.
Hehehehe, bomba.
Hit you very hard. What?
Liczyłem, że się uda go zrzucić, ale niestety.
Uh-huh. Understood.
Uciekamy.
Huh? I didn't hit you very hard. All right. Say goodbye forever. Oh, what bad luck for you.
Now you've got me interested.
Co to za runa? Ktoś do nas szczylo.
And what now?
On my way. At once.
Dzieje się, dzieje.
On my way.
No chance. Waste of time.
Understood. Pavrakas!
And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Oink, oink.
I didn't hit you very hard.
Waste of time.
Dobra. Ci z głowy.
All right. Kill. What is it? Yes.
Tego to z łatwością weźmiemy we czwórkę.
What is it?
Dobra, teraz musimy się zastanowić, co się tutaj dzieje. Tam jest wejście do fortu. Ktoś... A, tu są, widzę... Katapulty. Jak myślicie, iść w lewo czy w prawo? No w prawo widzę, że są jeszcze jakieś grupki tych... Nie wiem, co tutaj będzie. A nie chcę, żeby to była moja wina znowu, że przegrałem. Tylko żebym mógł obwiniać kogoś z was. Ja jestem skrajnie neutralny. A, już widzę, coś tam do nas strzela. Czyli tutaj są łucznicy, katapulty, a tam są po prostu jakieś orkowie. Dobra, chyba nie ma co decydować, po prostu ci na nas wymusili.
Huh? As good as done. All right. Oh, what bad luck for you.
Ty tutaj wskocz. Wskoczysz? No odmień być. Ciekawe czy wskoczy. Nie, nie wskoczy. Dobra, puścimy go przodem. Bo on jest pojebany. Znaczy głupi, znaczy zwariowany.
What is it?
All right then.
Ten se poradzi.
I have to.
He hardly put up a fight.
To puścimy...
All right then.
A w ogóle tak. Po raz kolejny nie czytam obiektywa. Musimy po prostu uciec stąd. Ale...
Not a bad idea.
Po co mamy uciekać? Skoro możemy zabić wszystkich.
Not a bad idea. All right then.
Ale dałaś do pieca.
With pleasure.
I'm with you. Too easy. At once. Yes. Say goodbye forever. Come here, you.
Młody gniewny.
I'm with you. Huh? With pleasure.
Huh? On my way.
And what now?
Przeszedłem Ori and Will of the Wisps. Will of the Wisps to jest ta dwójka, tak? Tak, bo pierwsza to była Blind Forest.
Yes, yes. Who's next?
Za dużo ci płacą w firmie, że sobie gierki kupujesz.
I'm with you. Yes, yes. Of course. I didn't hit you very hard.
Understood.
Ow! Another one put up a dust. I didn't hit you very hard.
No dobrze, dobrze. Ori to jest bardzo fajna gra. A z tego co widziałem, dwójka trzyma jeszcze większy poziom niż jedynka.
Another one bites the dust.
Now you've got me interested.
What is it? All right. Too easy.
Not a bad idea. All right then. Feel my
E? Czemu ona czasami nie strzela?
bad idea.
Mnie tak zastanawia.
If I have to.
Play forever.
What a waste of
Ten kopie, kurde, tą katapultę.
what is it?
W końcu krasnal. Nie, czekaj, czemu on nie chce? A, okej, upadł. Crazol. Crazol straszny.
And what now?
Not a bad idea.
No i w ten sposób zabiliśmy wszystkich, a musieliśmy tylko tutaj wejść.
Idea.
Ja to uważam za zwycięstwo.
We should go down into the caves and vaults. There'll be more of them down there.
Or maybe we should concentrate on finally getting to Ogre's Death stronghold, Boindil.
You ignore the offended look on your friend's face and set off, leaving the Orc Mountains behind you.
A, ja bym poszedł z nim do tych jaskiń. Widać, że Tungdil nie wychowywał się z krasnoludami. Bardzo fajnie. Jeżeli chcesz obejrzeć sobie jak to wyglądało od początku, nadrobić fabułę, to zapraszam na YouTube'a. Wszystkie zapisy są. Do tej pory mamy chyba jakieś 6 godzin przegranych. A jeszcze z tego, jak patrzyliśmy wcześniej kiedyś z czatem, to ta mapa jest taka duża, że jeszcze ze 20 godzin spokojnie tutaj zrobimy. Dobra, idziemy dalej, bo nas gonią.
You have put out a plate of food for the night every evening since Jeroen and Andakai joined you on your journey, but still none of you have seen him eat. You decide to pay particular attention to him this evening, to try and find out what is under the helmet. Andakai is sitting not far from the giant, studying the books.
Have you found anything useful yet?
She looks up at you.
You think I will stay and fight if there is a spell in the books that might defeat Nodon?
Yours is the god of balance. Don't you see it as your duty to create a balance between light and dark?
Instead of answering, Andakai rubs her eyes and closes the books.
It's too dark to study. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
Disgruntled, you watch the Mager as she walks over to her bed for the night. Your eyes fall upon Jeroen and the plate at his feet, on which not a crumb of food is left.
Ale odpowiadając na twoje pytanie, bardzo fajna gra, zaskoczyła mnie mega pozytywnie. Nie spodziewałem się, że będzie aż tak wciągająca. Jest to troszeczkę taki singleplayerowy, taka kampania RPGowa singleplayer. Dziękuję za oddanie głosu. Oddaję głos do studia. Idziemy prosto przez pustynię, może nas zgubią orkowie. Nie, niestety. Ja zaraz zrobię tak. Dobra, tutaj. Ciekawe, czy bylibyśmy w stanie tak krążyć i że nigdy by nas nie złapali, aż by nam się skończyło jedzenie i umarlibyśmy z głodu.
You can already see the oasis a day's journey away, but in the glimmer of the midday sun, you're not sure whether it might not just be a mirage. but the twins are convinced that there is a village here, and the prospect of a roof over your heads for the night keeps you going. The nearer you get to the oasis, the more the uneasy feeling grows that something's not right. It's too quiet, and you don't see any movement.
Co za łoś.
Once you enter the village, your fears are confirmed. Your enemies have
Pamiętaj,
already
że ja
been
nie...
here.
O. Nie Andir. No przecież. Muszę się nauczyć wreszcie wymotki. Ale stary już jestem. I trudno mi. Kurde. Panie, z panem to i tak jesteśmy krasnoludami, które tupią głośno i nie da się skradać, a z tobą to już w ogóle. Z jego stóp powinny grać jakieś dubstepy.
Where is everyone?
Hello? Anyone here?
You all jump. You look angrily at Boindil, who shrugs his shoulders in apology.
Znam ten kawałek, to chyba Skrillex.
This whole thing is probably a trap. We should...
Welcome to Pasna. I'm sure the citizens would greet you themselves.
Ha, bo to zabawne, bo nie żyją.
Recognize the elf immediately. You saw him with the leaders of the orcs, and he appeared to you in a
A,
dream after Green.
To nie był żart, nie było zabawne.
Not in a dream.
Meet again, Tungdill. What do you think of my work in the vaults? It was a nice start, wasn't it?
An eerie smile sets on Cintharus's lips.
Wonderful. I can see the hatred in your eyes. Come on. Come and get your revenge.
Ja chcę... O! Okej, dobra, czyli mogę odznaczać w ten sposób. Aha, tego muszę mieć, tego nie muszę mieć. Zobaczymy, jak sobie poradzi. Widzisz, przyszedłeś, czegoś się nauczyłeś. Tylko z jednym walczymy? Coś mi to się nie podoba. A, no właśnie, dobra. Pana postawimy tutaj,
What is it?
a my bijemy masterczuki.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Huh? At once.
Attack!
Łocie.
I didn't even take off my gloves.
Uh-huh.
And what now?
Wstawaj, typie.
Yes, yes. Ha ha!
Yes.
Kurze twarz.
What is it?
He hardly put up a fight.
Dobry jest. Kurde. Zatrudniam go. A ten zaraz umrze. Coś mi się wydaje, że źle zaczęliśmy tą rozgrywkę.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Kurde, tam łucznicy, dobra. Schowajmy się.
Now you've got me interested. No chance. I'll tell you when I'm ready. If I have to, feel my power.
I need help over here, quickly.
All right then.
Pomóżmy.
This is
Tu
going
widzę, że się naprawdę dzieje.
He hardly put up a fight. Kill. Yes. On my way. Huh? Of course. What is it? Understood.
Idziemy. Trzymajmy się razem.
All right then. Feel my power.
Huh?
What is it? Not a bad idea. All right then.
I have Boendar. Give me a hand. And again. Ow! Hey!
A Jezu, przestraszyłem swojego. Super.
Kill.
Not a bad idea.
Tamten ucieka co chwilę.
All right then. If I have to, with pleasure.
A ta nie trafiła, super.
What is it? I'm with you. Huzzah!
No nie idzie najlepiej.
What is it?
He hardly put
Not a
up a
bad
fight.
idea. Magic takes time. I'll tell you when I'm ready. Now you've got me interested. This is going to hurt.
Dobra. Wyczyścimy najpierw z orków, a potem
Understood. At once. For Brachus. I have Boendar. Give me a hand. Yes. On my way.
No chance.
a dopiero potem się będziemy przejmować.
All right then. Not a bad idea.
Nie chciałem, przepraszam.
Yes. For Brachus. Huh?
Dobrze. Znowu do pracy idziesz? Bany, no co ty? Co oni tak chcą ciągle od ciebie w pracy? Ale dzięki, że wpadłeś. Tak czy siak. Zawsze mi miło ciebie gościć.
Attack! And what now?
If I have to,
Creature.
feel my power.
They're hitting me pretty hard.
O kurde. Jeszcze nie nauczyłem się, jak działa ten spell.
On my way.
Taka. Dobrze. Kurde, nawet coś wyszło. A ten już zginął. Dobrze. Znaczy nie zginął, tylko jest
Not a bad idea.
nieprzytomny.
This is going to hurt. What a waste of time. All right then. And I didn't even take off my gloves.
Yes.
Dawaj, idź mu pomóż, babo.
If I have to. All right then. This is going to hurt. Feel my power.
For Brachus. End it.
No niestety już się skończyło.
Now you've got me interested.
Co jest to?
Retreat.
Ha.
Back.
Okej.
Why are you here? And how can you possibly still use magic?
The one person your master left living is the one you would least like to have as an enemy. Go on, little Alf. Flee.
Your magic saved you this time. But next time, I'll be...
Next time I will be prepared.
I've had enough of fighting. It's about time we head to your home.
I've had enough.
Ten się nawalczył, a nawet nie był w drużynie.
ahead of us before we can enjoy a cold beer.
Ale zimne piwko do mnie przemawia.
The longer we talk about it, the later we'll get to our beer. Let's go.
Zimne piwko, zimne piwko. Nie miałbym nic naprzeciwko. Wiem, że tak się nie mówi, tylko się mówi, że przeciwko temu, ale nieważne. Ja już się przyzwyczaiłem do tego, więc sorry, panie Sauron, ale Boendal z nami zostaje. Chyba że stwierdzę inaczej później. Kurczę, nie podoba mi się, że oni mnie ścigają. Zróbmy tak. Savegame. Aha.
Army is too big for you, and even if you could defeat them, the battle would take up too much time. So you decide to march through the night to increase the distance between you and them. The forced march is strenuous, but you manage to
Czyli
eventually
dostanę pewnie jakieś damage, ta injury. No nic. To teraz zrobimy takie kółeczko. Koło do kolusia, koło do kolusia. Nie, can't touch this. Przepraszam na momencik. Muszę zanieść syna. Careful now. Careful now. Oj, zabawnyś. Zdążyliśmy.
Traveling through the desert for days. The sand is simply everywhere. In your shoes, under your clothes.
Gdybym był
in your
Anakinem, to bym
mouths.
tego nienawidził.
Even the makeshift cloths that you've wrapped around your heads is of little help.
Śmierć jutro nadejdzie przedwczoraj. Chyba że noga będzie boleć. Siemano.
With the last of the energy you can muster, you finally leave the 40-mile-wide sandbar that separated you from Ogre's death. It is as if you've passed through an invisible wall when the raging wind and sand suddenly fall silent. In front of you, an enormous massive towers into the sky, the Blue Range. The slopes cast long shadows over Ogre's Death Fortress, which nestles in the spurs of the mountain. Even from this distance it looks impressive, with its 4 defensive terraces, one above the other. The anticipation of entering a real dwarven city for the first time grows with every step, and you feel...
Kurna, przeczytałem Singapur. To Sangpur. Tak sobie myślę, gdzie myśmy kuźwa zaszli? O, skubany, jaka broda! Widzę, że mam jeszcze troszeczkę do zrobienia. Ale kaszel już jest. Zbroja na brodzie, no. Dobra, cicho. Wczuwamy się.
This gives us an excellent opportunity to attack the last elves in Alandor. They are weakened. The perished land afflicts them. Let us wipe out the traitors once and for all.
Yes, right. Exactly.
Hear, hear.
Madness. What are you talking about?
I do not recognize you, King Gandagar, in what you are saying. The elves are inhabitants of Girdlegard. Has your hatred for them clouded your senses to the point that you wish to ignore the words of our god?
Belendalin's gaze falls, as if incidentally, on the king of the Fourthlings' advisor.
Or is someone giving you bad advice?
On the contrary, it was Bislipper who finally supplied me with the proof. A report titled How the Fiflings Lost the Gate. It was the elves that poisoned the brave Fifling warriors in their stronghold. A devious disease spread by the pointy ears in the shafts of the Grey Range. Impossible!
I always knew it. Treason. I don't believe they should pay for it.
The pointy ears!
Nie, ten wygrywa, kurna, wszystko.
Talking about the safety of Girdlegard. We must reach out and forge a large coalition with the elves. Yes, and even with the thirdlings, if we are to do...
No, widać, kto tu jest królem. Chociaż zbroja na brodzie też jest
You cannot be serious.
Drivel from a dwarf who has grown too old in his post. Are we not here to choose a new High King? We have waited long enough.
It would seem you will have to wait a little bit longer. The second aspirant has arrived.
The what now?
Our guests must be tired from their long journey. The meeting is adjourned till tomorrow.
Dokładnie. Ale kurde, ile się tak by musiał ubierać. Załóżmy sobie, ustali, że dzisiaj założę sobie t-shirt i z tej brody tam dzierga. Tutaj wzorek jakiś malować. Ale natomiast on może na przykład zamiast kołdry zawsze przykrywać się brodą i tak... O, zimno.
But why do you think that I...
Everything will become clear. I've had a room prepared for you. Before you take to your bed, please pay the High King and I a visit in the throne room.
Czy, ponieważ to jest miasto krasnoludów, to wreszcie będę mógł mieć długą... O, ta kamera czasami kupi. Siema, typek. Co tam?
Ah, your highness.
Po dupie.
For the first time, you have the chance to appreciate the beauty of the place. You suddenly forget what you wanted to say.
I've never seen such masterful masonry. To be honest, I didn't even know that stone could be worked in such a way.
Prawda?
The secondlings are the best masons of all the kingdoms. That's how Fracas made us. Well, he made some of us into warriors too.
Bowendahl glances at his brother and
Ale ja nie mogę być królem.
while looking around the hall.
Moja broda jest za krótka. Będą musieli coś z tym zrobić, albo ja nie powiem, że po prostu nie mogę tego przyjąć.
Heir apparent? What do you know? Spit it out.
A slight expression of guilt flits briefly across Boindill's face, but he's soon back to his old self.
A scholar as I king has something to it. You certainly have our votes, that's for sure.
Bowendahl nods in agreement.
As High King, you could unite the kingdoms and get them to do battle against Nod-On.
You look at your friends and aren't really sure whether they are trying to pull your leg or not.
I can't be High King. I got all my knowledge from books and you're pulling my leg, right?
The twins' grins grow ever wider, and it would seem they can hardly contain themselves.
Just talk to High King Gundrabur and Belendalin. They will explain.
Blem. Ja nie mogę być królem. Wiecie, mam pewien problem. Mam za krótkiego włosa.
High King Gunnar seems well
Old? He is ancient, even by Dwarvish standards. He has been old for as long as I can remember.
Belendalin has taken care of most
Belendalin.
of the dozens of cycles. But Gundrabur always has the final word. His mind is younger than all of ours, I tell ya.
Belendalin should become king. I was there
Belendalin.
when Runt took his arms. He still managed to kill half a dozen of them afterwards. What fighting spirit! We had to drag him off the battlefield.
The law requires that a firstling or a fourthling must be chosen as the new king of all dwarves. And, as the firstlings didn't turn up,
I think I'll continue to look around.
Don't get lost. And tonight we will finally drink a lovely dark ale in the glowing anvil.
Jak jeszcze raz usłyszę imię Belendalin, to nie wiem, czy utrzymam poker face'a. Jest to jakaś mapa, nie? Unga bunga.
Andikai, what is it?
Well, hello there.
I came to return these books to you, Tungdil. Luckily, I was able to make sense of most of it.
You observed how the Mager took time to study the books during your escape.
They are records from the Outer Lands. They tell of demonic beings from barren ground who can take possession of humans and invest them with great power.
Immortality, for example?
The Mager nods seriously. They speak of an axe forged by the undergrounders called Keenfire. It is said to have the power to cut through the flesh and bone of the living and completely destroy the demonic spirit deep within their soul.
Witaj, czarodziejko, nie wiem czy wiesz, ale mam być królem. Jak to pytasz? Spójrz na moje łóżko. Któż inny niż król mógłby mieć niedźwiedzią skórę w łóżku? Przepraszam, co mówiłaś? Bla bla bla, coś tam... Undergrounder, Skinfire... Dobrze.
So you think a demon from the outer lands has taken possession of Nudin?
He looked very different when I encountered him in Parista, and he rose from the dead even though you cut off his head. That can't be explained purely through the power of the perished land.
And he wanted to prevent these books from falling into our hands. That would only make sense if Keenfire had the power to defeat him.
A także mam niedźwiedzią skórę na łóżku, jak coś.
Where is this Keenfire?
I don't know if this weapon was ever forged. It requires rare materials and masterful craftsmanship. The purest, hardest steel, stone barbs decorated with runes, a hilt of Sigurdaisy wood, inlays made of all the noble metals, the blades studded with diamonds, smithed in...
Are you talking about
We are dwarves. We have the most talented craftsmen.
And you have
my
the
king?
Sigurdaisy wood. It is amongst the objects in your rucksack, which is fortunate as there are no more Sigurdaisies in Girdlegard. But even if you manage to forge the axe, it might all be just a fairy tale. It's too little to wager our lives on.
Nie przejmuj się. Weźmiemy ze sobą Belinda i przeciwnicy posrają się ze śmiechu.
We can get all the missing materials as well as a gem cutter here in the stronghold. After all, Gandagar and his fourthlings are here. A stonemason from the secondlings, and I can smith.
The Mager looks at you thoughtfully, and for a short time it seems as though your enthusiasm is rubbing off on her. But then she says,
I wish you good luck, Tungdil.
You still want to leave Girdlegard, but what will happen to your realm and all the other realms?
I admire your optimism, my friend, but it isn't wise to stand in the way of a rolling stone. I don't wish to give up my realm, but I would only be prolonging the suffering unnecessarily.
But
you don't want to let the last Mager in Girdlegard go. Unfortunately, you can't think of anything that could cause her to stay.
many thanks, Honorable Mager, for all that you have done.
Czy skoro niedźwiedzia na łóżku możecie przekonać, żeby zostać? O. Okej. You've been friendzoned. Zostałeś mi tylko ty, niedźwiedziu.
You are exhausted from your adventurous journey, but it would be impolite to just go to bed if the High King is waiting for you.
Hiking, sriking.
Sigurdaisy wood. Very rare. I guess Lot Yonan wanted it to examine or experiment with. Goren found an answer to the threat. Keenfire.
Grzybki ser.
A variety of cheeses, pickled cave mushrooms, toasted bolt moss, and some smoked sausage.
Smoked
The
sausage.
smell of the cheese makes your mouth begin to water.
Bardzo ładnie to zaakcentował po kiełbasce.
You can't see the bottom. When the secondlings named the Blue Range their home, there was nothing here but hard rock and a few small caves.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Girdlegard. Zobaczymy, czego chce od nas król, króliś i królowaś.
The power that the old High King radiated when he called the assembly to order has drained away from him. His body is sunken in the throne, but his eyes are alert and interested as he looks at you.
The lost son returns to his people. Thank Vracus. Tell us what you learned on your journey.
You describe your adventure down to the smallest detail. Neither the king nor his advisor interrupts you. From time to time they nod, as though they were already aware of certain facts. Their brows become more
Chcę ten
furrowed
młotek.
with every passing minute.
Gib.
When you're finished with your story, you also have some questions.
I don't want to appear ungrateful, and I'm happy to finally be among my people, but I will not ascend the throne. I hardly know anything about our customs and laws. Everything that I know, I have learned from books that Lot Yonan gave me. There must be more suitable heirs than me.
Your renouncement honors you. But to be honest, you never had a claim. To stop Gandagar, we had to stall for time.
Lot Yonan helped us with our little story. We don't even know if you are a fourthling.
The king's advisor misinterprets your unbelieving gaze and quickly adds,
We're only being as deceitful as goblins for one solitary reason. To stave off possible harm to our people.
Okej.
You feel as though you've been hit in the stomach. If this is true, not only have you lost your newly found kingdom, but Master Lot Yonan also didn't see it as necessary to inaugurate you in the conspiracy.
I tak się później pewnie okaże, że jesteśmy Fortlingiem i należy nam się tron.
Game is being played here.
Gandagar, as king of the Fourthlings, is to supersede me as High King, but his mind is poisoned with hatred towards the elves. He would probably win a war against them, but he would weaken us, and Girdlegard would not be helped by this. I was hoping for a great coalition with the elves, and even with the Thirdlings. I would have given anything to start the negotiations. In times of great need, only the common goal can count.
And which role have you planned for me?
Well, with you as a second aspirant, certain possibilities of protocol open up to us.
Your plan has a flaw. Even if I were to lie down, I couldn't win. No one on the council will vote for me.
You don't have to.
Belendolin points to the Steelies in the throne room.
It's written in our laws that the High King can oppose an heir if he isn't elected unanimously. He can then demand a duel or a contest in order to determine the winner.
Such a contest could take weeks, if not months, and it would win us some time.
Is this really the best for our people? If you cannot dissuade Gandagar from carrying out his plans, it could end in a fraternal war.
Don't worry. We'll open up his eyes and he will recognize the malice of his feigned friend. We just need time, and you must gain it for us.
Nie będę się kłócił z ich brodami.
All right then. I'm ready to do it. But I will need all of your support.
You can be certain of it, Tungdil.
Belendolin smiles at you encouragingly.
You say Andakai may have found a way to defeat Nodon, and she suspects that the Magus is possessed by a demon from the Outer Lands. It may be possible to kill this demon with an axe called Keenfire.
Myślałem, że będzie coś więcej.
Why is Gandagar so full of hatred towards the elves?
His father and brother were murdered by elves. At least that's what's claimed.
No one knows the truth, just as no one knows how true this report about the Fiflings is. But isn't it strange that this letter has turned up now, just when it can play into the hands of the elf-haters? Many dwarves' hatred towards the elves is great, perhaps even greater than their honesty.
Nowy art. Całkiem dobry.
I understand why you want to prevent a High King Gandagar. You'll be blind to our real problems.
Gandagar's only liability is that he lets Bislipper whisper dark thoughts in his
Bislipper
ear. The
Whisper.
advisor is the problem, not
Ups,
the king.
przepraszam.
A problem that I am fortunate enough not to have.
The High King smiles weakly at his advisor.
Gandagar is a good dwarf and a good king, and I am certain he could also be a good High King if he was free of Bislipper's lies and false advice.
What kind of contest would you have us compete in? Gandagar is surely superior to me in many things.
Everyone in the council will write a task on a piece of paper, and from them, the contest will be drawn.
And this only once you have made a speech and have won over as many as possible in the council to your side. The more sympathetic the council is towards you, the higher the chances of a contest that fits your abilities.
Speech? You're beginning to like this whole thing less and less.
I have commissioned armor that is worthy of
Armor przyjmę.
It will be delivered to your chamber by sunrise.
You say goodbye with a queasy feeling in your stomach. You always thought that you were articulate, but the prospect of having to make a speech in front of the large council doesn't exactly fill you with elation.
Fajnie się dzieje. Bardzo fajnie.
The coal fire is lit when the kingdoms meet for council.
Kraśki to jednak dają radę. Coś macie mi do powiedzenia?
Ah, Tungdill, what is it?
The High King and his advisor don't know where I come from either. But they only want to use me to delay Gandagar's coronation and ultimately prevent war with the elves.
Whatever happens, we will stand by your side, Scholar.
You're not sure whether the moral support of your friends will be much use in a contest with Gandagar, but it feels good not having to go through the whole thing on your own.
Andakai deciphered what was written in the books that Goren wanted to send to Turga the Fairface. They tell of a demonic threat from the Outer Lands and how it can be stopped. Nudin cannot be killed by normal weapons, but Undergrounders have developed a weapon that might be able to do it. Keenfire.
Undergrounders? What's that supposed to mean?
You shrug your shoulders.
Maybe there are dwarves.
Nie wiem, co to znaczy, ja bym bił orków.
Either way, they have described how this magical weapon can be made.
If it's got anything to do with magic, the weapon cannot be dwarfish. We shouldn't go anywhere near it.
Nudin fears the books. I believe that Keenfire is our best chance of stopping him. I think I'll continue to look around.
Don't get lost. And tonight, we will find...
Halo, czat mi się popsuł. O, już działa. Ale w grze nie działa. Dlaczego tak jest? O, już działa. Dobra. Wydaje mi się, że to jest całkiem spoko moment, żeby spauzić rozgrywkę. Całkiem sporo się wydarzyło jak na jeden. Pamiętam, spokojnie. Ale dziękuję. Całkiem sporo się wydarzyło. Muszę przyznać, że po każdej rozgrywce wiem, że to mówię, ale muszę przyznać, że ta fabuła, która tam się dzieje, jest coraz bardziej wkręcająca. Także no jestem ciekaw, co będzie dalej. Jestem ciekaw, co za zbroję dostaniemy. Jestem ciekaw, jak nam pójdzie ta cała rozmowa z królem, z królem, z całą radą. No, będzie się działo. Będzie zabawa. Dobra, to na razie w takim razie tyle. Dziękuję za przybycie.